ladies and gentlemen, I am the sarcastic barman and welcome to my channel. You may notice for the first time in a while we're in the pub. We had to be in the pub. I needed access to vast amounts of alcohol if I was going to continue with this series. Because seriously, the truth about vaccines, fuck my life. The shit that is on these videos and the shit they come out with. It's like they're all just moronic, lying, stupid idiots who think the world's going to believe anything they say. Speaking of which, there's this dickhead.
The underlying reason for people to react in the way they react from the pro-vaccine lobby is manifold. I mean, some people just ideologically believe in vaccination.
Oh dear, it's Mr Andrew Wakefeild. Yep, I'm not going to call him a doctor. I don't care if he's got a doctorate. He was struck off by the General Medical Council for being a naughty boy, shall we say. We'll get a bit more into that later. But yeah, vaccines have been quite well proven to work. Oh dear, he's going to go down this route, isn't he? Oh well, I'll get the rum. You can watch some more video.
From the pharmaceutical company's perspective, it's a lot of money. A huge amount of money. A massive market.
No, really now? A massive amount of money. Well, every time you say something ridiculously stupid, oh, we're going to have one of those. I'm going to be fucked, aren't I? Jesus. Now, yes, it is a large amount of money to the rest of us, but unfortunately, we're not the pharmaceutical industry. Vaccines account for about $60 billion a year. Well, predicted by the end of this year, that's what that area will be worth. And while that does sound like a shit ton of money, because let's be fair, it is, it's not when compared to what the pharmaceutical industry as a whole is actually worth, which will be around $1,120 billion a year. So yeah, it's not much really, is it? It's a couple of percent. I think, what, 5%? Mr Wakefeild, you just made a stupid sort of comment, didn't you?
Why do the CDC pursue this program of intensifying the vaccination program when they've never done the proper safety studies or never demanded the proper safety studies of the industry?
Do you think that nobody does safety studies on vaccines? I mean, even the pharmaceutical industries do their own safety studies on vaccines, which really, they want to go well, so you could say we won't trust them, but then you're assuming that no one else looks at these studies, does tests, and looks at results and things that are going on. Google Scholar is a thing, and searching for papers on this stuff is relatively easy. At the moment, the first paper that I found on there was about the HPV vaccine, and there's a group of scientists and doctors that aren't happy about the test results that originally came out and want more information to be presented and to have a look through even deeper. So, not only are the studies being done, there are people calling out the studies that have been done in the correct way, as in not going on YouTube and going, I don't like it, I don't like it. They're actually publishing papers and going through other people's papers properly, citing bits which they think are wrong or asking for more information. You know what science and medical professionals and doctors actually do? Well, when they're not treating people, obviously. Oh well, continue your level of stupidity, please.
It's a very good question, and I don't have an answer. It seems to me utter madness. They know that they committed fraud in the setting of the MMR vaccine study. They know they did that.
Hang on a minute, you want to talk about the MMR vaccine and people being fraudulent? Wow, it's like the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it? Didn't you have a hearing with the General Medical Council in regards to your study on the MMR vaccine? Didn't you have 34 pages worth of charges brought up in your hearing about your actions during your study in regards to the MMR vaccine? Isn't this why we don't call you a doctor anymore? Yeah, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, especially at a castle that is the CDC. Is it perfect? No, no castle's perfect. But Oh, coming from you, that's really amusing. So, continue.
Then we are facing a very, very bleak future. And people need to wake up to that. They need to put everything else to one side. The environment isn't going to kill us in anything like the same time frame that vaccines are going to kill us. Vaccines, if we have 1 in 2 children by 2032, which is the predicted numbers based upon the CDC's own data.
Wow, that was 24 seconds of my life I'm not going to get back, and a lot of fucking bollocks. Bollocks number 1. Vaccines are not going to kill us. We are more likely to die because of global warming and all the crap going on with that than we are to die from fucking vaccines. Oh, those glasses are bigger. Fucking hell. Bollocks number 2. Where the fuck did you get the number of 1 in 2 people are basically going to have autism? Based on the CDC numbers? No, it fucking wasn't. That's Stefan's claim, Dr. Stephanie Stefan, from MIT. That's her fucking bollocks claim, which is also nothing to do with fucking vaccines. That's to do with her and the Roundup and the stuff in glyphosate. That's it, glyphosate. So that's got nothing to do with vaccines. You've just seen a fucking number, like it, and go, oh, the MIT lady, these chemicals, yeah. Vaccines don't cause autism. They really don't. Otherwise, you would see a good amount of correlation between when vaccine rates have dropped for like MMR that you says causes autism, that it should drop when people aren't getting the vaccine. But it doesn't. And when more people have the vaccine, the rate should go up. But it doesn't. Of that original paper you did, 10 of the other authors have all come forward and said, yeah, there's no actual information about this here. Yes, I know you won your appeal in 2012, but do you know what the judge also said in that appeal you won in 2012? You can't reopen the idea of the MMR vaccine causes autism because it fucking doesn't. I don't think he said fucking doesn't, but we'll add that for effect. Basically, Mr. Wakefeild, you're a dick.
They've taken that right away from the children's doctor, the person who knows these children, and put it in the hands of a state official who's never met them, doesn't know them, and frankly doesn't care.
Now, for anyone who doesn't know, this is Mr. Wakefeild talking about California and their change of the laws on vaccination. If you want to go to school, you've got to be vaccinated or have a proper medical exemption. And they've changed how these medical exemptions are sort of passed a little bit. If a doctor gives out more than 5 medical exemptions in 1 year, they're going to be checked over. If a school has less than 95% of its students vaccinated, it's going to be checked why. And one of the big things that led to this was in 2016, for exemptions for vaccines, basically California said you can't have a personal belief as an exemption for vaccines. Do you know what happened after that, strangely enough? Medical exemptions for vaccines quickly rose. Very odd, isn't it? So basically the doctors were saying, yeah, whatever, you don't want a vaccine, okay. No, get the fuckers vaccinated. Keep them vaccinated, keep them up to date and vaccinated, and stop these outbreaks of measles that America seems to be having at the moment. What do you lot want? All the outbreaks to come, have lots of disease, everyone get really poorly, possibly die. The fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, that's basically roughly what he's talking about. Oh yeah. I can't remember if he said something stupid, but he probably did.
So there is a dramatic limitation of medical exemptions in order to exert control over vaccination policy. It's catastrophic. Firstly, there is no place whatsoever in medicine for any mandated procedure. None. Zero. And Nazi Germany taught us that.
Really? 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 We got to Nazis already? No. Bad Wakefield. Secondly, as far as I can see, the list of medical exemptions haven't changed. If you're medically exempt, you're still medically exempt. There just has to be an actual ruling for it. And for anyone saying, oh, it's a way that the doctors might make more money having to check the children to make sure they're medically exempt. Nope. No, California also put in the rule that the doctors can't charge for filling in the forms and doing examinations to see if you're medically exempt. So for anyone who might have said that or thought that, basically, if you're medically exempt, you can still be exempt. If the thing is, your name is Karen and you want your kids not to be vaccinated because you listen to a dickhead, then they either can't go to school or you get the fuckers vaccinated. There isn't an if or a but about this. Why is this so difficult? Oh. That one went down the wrong way.
Experimental medical programs in people who did not have informed consent is abhorrent, is totally unacceptable to the conduct of ethical medicine. You can't do it. You must never do it. But that's what's happening here in California.
Just a couple of little bits. Number one, they're not doing medical experiments on the children, are they? They're not like taking blood at a birthday party or something like that, or injecting them with unknown chemicals. No, the vaccine's been quite well tested over the years, and as we mentioned before, there's lots of studies into vaccine safety, so fuck no, number one. Fuck no, number two. I can't remember what I was saying. It'll come to me in a minute. Oh yeah, fuck no, number two. They don't have to have the injections. They can be homeschooled. They don't just have to do this. It's not like, yes, you'll come with me, I inject you, ha-ha. No, you want to go to school and interact with everyone else. You take the precautions to keep everyone else who can't get actually vaccinated due to medical exemptions safe. Number three, if people hadn't fucked about with the medical exemptions to start with after belief was taken off the table, none of this would be a fucking point or question. Mr Wakefeild, you're just a dick. And the fact you still think that measles, mumps and rubella fucking vaccine causes autism just shows you're a dick who's got fucking no brains. Good God, man. I can't remember if I need to have this one or not, but it's basically the end of the video, so. And if it's not the end of the video, it fucking better be.
People are being forced into a medical procedure with known risks, with quantifiable risks, where they have to pick up the consequences of a permanently damaged child.
No, they're not being forced. The chances of a medical complication are about 1 in a million. So, not particularly high. You've basically got more chance of actually catching and dying from measles than you have of getting a complication from the vaccine. And at the end of the day, if you've still got a medical exemption that's a real medical exemption, do you know what? You can get medically exempt. It's not fucking difficult. All this law is changing is making sure that the people who are getting medically exempt are actually medically exempt. So dickheads like you can't break the system and say, no, we don't believe it's real. Ooh, voodoo magic. This is the end of the video now, I checked. So, on that note, like, share, comment, subscribe. Drink rum. Oh, fuck, gonna be rough in the morning. And good night. We shall see you all on the next one, where we hopefully won't be as drunk as this one. And I'm going to upload this now, so I can't change it, because it's Tuesday night. Where's the button to stop this video?
I'm a man with a plan.